traitor, don't you dare keep me warm. That's my mama.
You just do it, and then it is kind of a part of your body. But it is narrowing that gap between observation, oh crap, she's not round, or, she's got my inside leg, or we need to be more forward, and respond to it. Because a lot of times, we ride around like, I wish you kind of niggling at something that we're not liking, instead of just saying, okay, now,
That's it.
yeah.
Knowing what I'm doing, asking for
Yeah.
it, she will give it to me.
Yeah.
I just say,
This is a very nice second, really pretty solid second level horse. She knows this stuff. So you have permission to expect it to be available. She's in good shape.
She had sarcoidosis in July, and so September we started packing.
Yeah.
It was a big one. It was
Or
right up next to her udder, between her udder and her left hind leg, and
yeah.
it was this big.
Yeah,
Oh,
By the time it took it out.
jeez.
Oh, Mrs. Ryan, she would want to walk.
But she's not gotten a
Let's go ahead and put her together at the walk and look at some of the transitions: walk, trot, canter. You're going to need to shorten your reins. And if she hangs, just soften the outside rein. And again, she's educated. Part of what helps her to be round is to have hands that are very still. So you're not going to really follow her so much in the walk. The other thing is letting your upper arm to your elbow a little bit drop to your side, and almost, not that you're going to hold a hug to yourself, but let it really be there so that your elbow isn't opening and closing a lot. In a younger horse, yeah, you want to follow the walk a lot. She's warmed up enough now, though, that you can start to package her. And part of that packaging comes from your core being really intact, and part of your core is your upper arm. That's how the horse feels your intent in your upper body, is that you're not like this and riding with your biceps, you're riding like this and riding with your hips, but this part of your body is intact. Even there, I would say there's still a little of this. Keep it. Close in on your elbows, keep your hands still. If she braces, give her a little bump with your leg. That's your half halt. That you have a restraining fist. You're not pulling back and you're not releasing. You're here like a pair of side reins, isometrically holding your place. And she yields to the rein pressure. And if she doesn't, she gets a little bump with the leg, until she drops her neck. Good. Good. It's better. And connect your elbows again. Think about, a lot of times what happens, go ahead and turn left and look at me. A lot of times what happens is we almost push backwards with the motion and let our elbows go forward. Think about connecting your elbows and letting your hips right towards your hands. And have the motion so drop down into your pelvis that you can really lift from your hips. This is part of your core, and what follows the horse is your seat. Good. Connecting your elbows. Well, it kind of comes from closing up your shoulder, like your delts kind of drop down in the back, and trapezius, kind of pull your shoulders a little bit together is what helps support your elbow connection. Good. 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 Very good. Very good. Super. So go ahead and stand a circle here, and then go ahead and trot. So walk again. Because here's an example of intent. I think for 3 or 4 strides you were asking for trot, you closed your leg, She put her ear back, a little bit lifted her neck. You tried a little harder. So when you have in your mind, I'm going to trot, and you close your leg, and this starts to happen. It's like a little bit of a lockdown to your hand, and a kick that says, hey, listen to me. And then don't let her trot from that, because I call that just surviving a transition. You know, when you squeeze and then you kick bigger, and you whip, and they finally trot. That's surviving a transition. You know, you want to tune the transition. So the kick or the whack with the stick is a little bit of a punishment to say, hey, listen to me. But you don't let them trot from that. That's the punishment. You organize yourself, get composed, and then ask quietly again for the trot. She needs to listen to that light 8. She knows better. So ask her to trot politely. If she ignores you, give a little bit of a lockdown and a smack. That's right. Now ask politely again. Yeah, lovely. Very nice. And that's the beginning of, finesse in a ride and finesse in the training. You know, a young horse, you give him a big old cowboy kick and you do what you have to get it going, but the goal is to teach him to listen to the light 8. Very good. Very nice. Show a little inside flexion, especially in the corners. And if you're riding a circle, you want to show a nice even bend. Good. That's right. Good. Lovely. And in the bending, you often find that you can get your horse a little rounder. And that's my whole thing is that when you get lateral submission, when you get the bending side to side, then you start to get longitudinal submission, which is that lifting of the back and lowering of the neck like that. Beautiful. Beautiful. And if she's heavy in that, and I wouldn't worry about the pole being a little low, because the pole low is better than this, the pole too high, right now. So flex her left. When those ears go up and the neck comes up, bend her left. Bend her to the inside. Really bend her. Yeah. Use your inside leg. So give me your rib cage, put your neck down. There you go. Beautiful. Good job. Yeah. So every time she a little bit braces up like that and hollows, if her ears go back and she gets snarky, or her ears go up and she's looking, bend her and say, hey, get off my inside aids, stay here. That's right. Even if you have to way over bend her, pull her nose to your knee, that's okay. Very good. Good. And then go ahead and walk again. We'll change her. Bend her a little. So in the down transition, she braces and almost pushes backwards. So try again. Yeah. When you start to process in your head, oh, that wasn't good, go back, fix it. What I would do is probably bend her a little bit, even think of a feeling of a shoulder in or shoulder 4 in the down transition, so that you don't allow her to get so straight that she can brace up so easily. Use the bending for your up and down transitions. So flex her left here a little bit, think of that feeling of a shoulder 4. And then when you're ready, the down transition. When you're happy with the bending that you get, you can do it with one rein even. You can use, full just eat. It's a half of a half halt, because you're going to do it with one hand. Better? Good. Very nice. I mean, especially with more educated horses, a lot of times if you try and do things with 2 hands, they'll just lay down on you.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's better to really work more one rein and then the other.
The shoulders.
I know. She can lay down in your hands. Let's go the other way. But you fix that actually by walk down on a fist and a kick until she goes, yes ma'am. The hanging in the rein is usually a symptom of either them pushing through your leg with a rib, or a hind leg that doesn't really want to work and carry. So often what fixes pull is a good kick.
I got those.
So stretch your heel down, make sure you're not pressing her to walk, just have her walk. So you give her a sharp kick if it's not energetic, and then you let your leg hang. Now start to connect your elbows a little bit and start shaping her, expecting her to be round. And if she braces in the hand, flex her. Bend her to the inside a little bit. Use that lateral submission to get longitudinal submission. Good. And if she still feels a little hangy, give her a little boot until she drops her neck and really gets round. That's better. Yeah, good. Yeah. So when you're not happy, kick her. Sounds possible, doesn't it? Good. Flex her right. Now there, get tough because she's bringing her neck up and not being round. So give her a little boot until she drops her neck. But don't let her trot off. Keep your fists still. She needs to shape herself within your framework that you're creating. Good. Charles DeCompte says you can't shape the horse, you can only shape their energy. It's really true. Good. Whenever you're ready, again, think about that little feeling of the shoulder forward, getting that feeling of submission to the inside before you trot. So that she doesn't do it with her neck, she has to do it with her back. So don't trot until you feel like the neck is where you want it. Overbend her right for kicks. Won't hurt her. You got a virgin mouth. Yeah. Yeah, good, like that, and then trot up. That's where we want it. Yes, very good. And then let her out of it. Super. Very good. Good. You know, and if she goes down to the point of pulling on you also, the other curse, then you kick her also. Plant that fist and give her a kick. She's not allowed to run off. She's got to just lift herself up a little. Good. Lovely. Very nice. Very nice. Super. Good, Joan. Think about the bending. Nothing is ever static in riding. You know, you're constantly a little checking, even if it feels fabulous, there's a little feel that says, are you really there, or is this fake? Are you really there, or can you get a little deeper? Can you be a little rounder? Can you be a little more active? Are you tired? I flex her a little here because she's a little bit up against the bit. Bump her with your inside leg. Often posting on the inside diagonal allows you to more accurately time your aids. So go ahead and change your step. When you're sitting, you naturally close your leg when you sit in the rising trot, in the sitting phase, and you want to be closing your leg when that inside hind leg is in the air, when you can affect it the most, which is in the rising trot, it's the inside diagonal. So that's probably not enough energy to shake. She looks like she's kind of slogging along, so I'd give her a little boot. Yeah. And the inside flexion. Yes, good for you. Exactly. Now, you shouldn't have to work hard at posting. The horse should be forward enough to carry you. Give her a boot there. She's still a little behind your aids. Kick her. Yeah, that makes me happy. I like to hear a horse groan even. Ooh. So flex her right here. She's a little braced. You can soften the outside rein a little when you get into her with the inside, like the handlebars of a bicycle. If you take inside, you need to yield a little outside. So let your outside hand go forward. Even if the rein slacks, see what happens. See how she drops her neck? It's such a beautiful way to yield the horse into a half halt that makes him rounder, right? By submitting the outside rein rather than pulling harder with the inside. So that's just a tool in your toolbox. Good. And go ahead and walk. Lovely. Very nice. And think about that flexion before you do the down transition. Yeah. See, you caught her right there. With that little bit of flexion, she couldn't come up so much. Outstanding. Give her a long rein. Give her a little break. You can see a little nostrils flaring. Yes. Yes, you are. You know better. She gets this trot, especially to the right more than the left, but it's very pleasant, but it's almost like she sort of hops from diagonal to diagonal rather than really steps over the back. And then she looks like she's just a little buggy in the reins. So you have to keep